From the studios of Community Media on Staten Island, you're watching In the Bleachers, the TV show for the world's most passionate sports fans. Hello, and very happy Memorial Day, everyone. I'm Jaime Hixson. Usually you see me here talking on the phone with my friend Hector. Due to lingering health issues, Hector was unable to join us for the show, but we've got the next best thing. It was about, I would say, a year or two ago that I was filming a car show up and down Newdorp Lane. And then all of a sudden, this married couple wound up recognizing me, and I did an interview with them, and it was probably one of the best things that could have happened to me, because now, maybe a year or two later, we've become really, really good friends. They are a sensation on YouTube. They've gotten at least 500,000 likes and 500,000 members as well. I think it's safe to say that we can introduce them right now. Chris the Hobby Guy and his wife Lisa.
Hi, Jamie. And
Hi,
hello,
Chris.
everyone. Jamie, we are so proud to be here.
We're very happy to have you here. It's a
Thank
real
you.
honor.
Very
you so
honored to
much.
be here. Thank you, Jamie.
You know, I've had the pleasure of interviewing so many people. I've interviewed political figures, I've interviewed athletes, I've interviewed actors and actresses. You two were probably the most fascinating people that I have ever met, because not only did you have your life here on the island, but you've also become pretty popular among the mainstream guys. Has it settled in yet that you two have become so famous?
Well, you know what? We can't go anywhere where we have people stopping us and they want selfies with us. And you know what? We love everyone, and we definitely love Staten Island, right, Lisa?
We love Staten Island. We love people, and a lot of people become our friends.
Yeah.
And we love when people come over to us, whether it be at a car show or in the supermarket, at the mall. It's just a wonderful feeling, the feedback and the support that people have given us. So we just want to say we love everybody and thank you. Thank you.
You were both born here, right?
Actually, no, we were born in Brooklyn.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, we were born in Brooklyn, but have family. We were always on Staten Island because my cousins live here on Toad Hill, and Chris also, his grandparents live New Springville, and his
Yes.
aunt and uncle. So we've always been, summers were spent here and family gatherings, so a lot of time on Staten Island. So you could say it's just a bridge away, but we were always here, so.
Do you know what the biggest difference is between Staten Island and Brooklyn? Because I see a lot of similarities between the two boroughs. We have guys who have quite a few members in their family. Mm-hmm. There are also people that wind up knowing somebody who knows somebody.
Yes.
But what do you feel is the biggest difference between here and Brooklyn?
The pizza.
That's actually true.
The pizza. And I think a lot of Brooklyn, people have moved here. I mean, most people that you talk to are from Brooklyn, I feel anyway, in this day and age. And, you see a lot of them now, the businesses have taken over from Brooklyn. They've moved here. And so a lot of our pizza, the pizza makers have come over here to live. So it's great.
Nice.
Yeah, it's great.
What do you think the people have wrong about Staten Island, or Brooklyn for that matter?
Well, Brooklyn has changed a great deal from when we were kids anyway, and but it's still great. It's always great to go back. I mean, but being here, the most beautiful thing that I love about Staten Island are the parks. I mean, the parks here are just absolutely gorgeous. I mean, they call New Jersey the Garden State, but I feel Staten Island should be called the Garden,
Borough.
little borough, because it's just amazing. The parks are just gorgeous here. I mean, you have Bloomingdale Park, Conference House Park. I mean, so many of them that you could just enjoy. So that was always a big, plus for me. Even as a kid, we used to come down here and have picnics, from Brooklyn, and it was so nice. And I'll never forget those memories. And it was always in an outdoor setting. So.
Well, I love all the people here on Staten Island.
Oh, yeah.
And it's so wonderful because it's a diverse island. There's so many people that of different cultures and ethnicity, and everyone gets along so well. It's amazing. Even the food. There's different types of food for every culture, and it's just one big family. That's how I feel about Staten Island.
Staten Island is one big
here.
family. And, the community is just so supportive, And I always said it took, terrible things. I mean, whenever there's something that happens, whether it be Hurricane Sandy or, any kind of need, Staten Islanders really stick together, which is so, it's one big happy family. So.
Well, we also, as Staten Island celebrities, we give back so much of our time and support to restaurants, to fundraisers, to everything you can imagine, right, Lisa? We're there, and we're there to help out.
Right.
And
we want Staten Island in a positive
Island.
light. That's the whole key. I know for some time some people were trying to put little negative things, but never.
Right.
I mean, Staten Island is an awesome place to live. We raised our children here. I mean, we're here now almost 30 years, and we love it, love it, love it. And
good.
The people are great. The food is great. The cultures, different people, like Chris said, just amazing, amazing.
And like Lisa said, we try to do all positive things about Staten Island through our videos on YouTube. You can find us on YouTube at Chris the Hobby Guy. And also our cable show, Chris the Hobby Guy and Lisa show that we have here also.
Is that for YouTube as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very good.
You could catch some of them on YouTube, yeah.
You mentioned something really important, and that's the negative light that certain people have tried to put on us. Not too long ago, I saw that Saturday Night Live bit that one Pete Davidson did, which just so happened to be the same skit that you two did.
Yes, we were on that, and it was amazing. That was so much fun.
Finish your thought, Jamie. Jamie was making a point. Go ahead.
Do you think that he was joking when he made all of those remarks, or do you think he was trying to be serious?
I think
Absolutely
Pete
joking.
loves Staten Island.
We
you have
know
to remember,
he does.
Comedians will always poke at the things that are near and dear to their heart, whether it be their spouse, whether it be their... So, for Pete, it's fun, but in his heart, he loves it here. And
That's good.
Pete loves Staten Island. He grew up here. His family is here.
Yeah.
And it was an honor being on Saturday Night Live with Pete Davidson. It was really an honor.
And you can't deny that there are
awesome.
so many bagel stores and
Yes, that's
pizzerias.
right.
I mean, and I think that's what he brought out. And, it's amazing how we have so much of that in bagel stores.
It's just fun to talk about. And that's
fun.
what we loved about that
And the
skit.
wild
We
turkeys,
loved
it.
It's true.
Yeah.
Wild turkeys on Staten Island.
There was a wild turkey that was in the parking lot of the station not too long ago.
Yeah.
And then after that, there was a deer.
No, I love
we're
it.
getting deer.
love
I
it.
mean, tremendous amounts of deer everywhere. So it's fun. It's really cool. Staten Island is a very cool place to live. And,
It is.
And we
It's
produce.
amazing.
Look, so many wonderful people come from. I mean, famous people. I think we should really. I look at all the sports people that come. I mean, the baseball players, right? And
I know John Franco had a house here for many years.
That's right.
That's right. And that was Toad Hill, I believe.
Right. So
Yeah.
so many
Amazing.
celebrities, and Staten Island definitely is the hometown of many, many great things. Whether it be people, hardworking people that live here and really want to contribute to the world. So
One big happy family.
So true.
That's what
So
I say.
true.
That's what Staten Island is to me and Lisa.
absolutely.
And once again, we love all of you. And we just want to build Staten Island up.
Yeah.
Whenever you hear a negative thing, don't let anyone talk about Staten Island. This is your hometown.
That's right.
Don't let anyone ever put it down. And we never let anyone put it down.
So true. Now, we need to talk about how you were able to put basically your lives on YouTube. Who was the decision maker on that, and why? Why did you decide to go the YouTube route?
That's a great question.
Go ahead,
I guess
Chris,
I'll
take it
answer
away.
this
Oh,
one,
yeah.
right? Well, I love animals. So one of my hobbies, I have many, many hobbies, from baseball card collecting to going to different restaurants, reviewing them, and coin collecting. I can go on and on. But I started off, I said, you know what? I love animals so much, and let me make a little video and put it on YouTube, a how-to video. So my first video was how to set up a turtle tank.
Oh, wow.
So I put it on, and I didn't think much of it. Hey, you know, first time on YouTube. Next morning, I look at my video and I go, 10,000 views.
Yeah, took off.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm like, in one day, it was wild.
Was that the very first video that you
Yeah,
did?
it was
Yeah,
my
that
first
was the first
video.
one, and
was
it took
Wow.
off. And we're going back to like 2007.
Setting up a turtle tank,
like
yes.
right,
It
2007.
was way back, yeah. it's
Chris was
long
like
time.
he's a pioneer of YouTube. He was like one of the first YouTube like stars to come out.
Yes.
Really, if you think about it, and it just caught on. We never thought it would take off like that, but the feedback, people wanted more and more. So
Yes, and all the videos that Lisa and I make on YouTube at our channel, Chris the Hobby Guy, we make them positive. We make them friendly. You'll never hear a bad word. We make them for people to enjoy.
all ages.
It's positive energy, right, Lisa?
It's positive energy.
That's what we like to give.
And it
Positive
reaches all
energy.
ages. You know, you could be very young, you could be older, you could be married, you could be single, whatever. We have people just write to us from everywhere how happy they are and how they feel so uplifted when they watch our videos. So it's a good influence, and we want to continue on that because it's genuine. You know, what you see is what you get with us, and you know, we bring people into our lives and they could see, and and oftentimes they follow that.
That's right.
And they follow that lead of just
That's right.
seeing the world for a better place, because it is. It's a great
Oh,
place.
definitely. And YouTube's done so much for us.
Yeah.
YouTube's done amazing things. Like we've been on Saturday Night Live because of the YouTube. We're on a TV show called Gravesend. We're in season 2.
Wow.
Yes.
Coming up.
Coming up. It should be coming up soon. It's on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
So we're in, I think, about 6 episodes or so.
Probably, yeah, this
And
summer.
we were
it'll be
found through the
announced.
YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So that's
Wow.
another wonderful thing.
And so many other wonderful things. I mean, people who have changed their life and they've
That's
invited
right.
us to join in
That's
on
right.
that, like moving to a new home or the birth of their child or a birthday. Or it's just amazing that they bring us into that, and we love to
Wow.
be a part. Anything that we could do to support anyone, we do, and it brings us great joy.
Well, our subscribers, our followers on Instagram also, which it's Chris the Hobby Guy on Instagram too, they become part of our family. It's totally amazing, when they invite us to parties and birthday parties and
Yeah.
right, all the different
Graduation parties.
things. And when we show up and everyone runs over, they want to take selfies. It's amazing.
It's a
It
great
really
feeling.
is. But we are who you see.
Right, genuine.
We're just genuine people. We don't let any of that go to our head
No, we're humble about
because
it.
we want to give back. And we do. Those videos that we make, once again, they're just from the heart, and they're fun, and people actually enjoy them. And that's what it's about.
That is what it's
Wow.
about.
Spread the love, spread the positive energy.
Kindness is contagious.
That's right.
So that's our
Kindness.
theme, yeah?
I like that.
Have you kept track of how many videos you've made since the very first one?
Oh, my goodness.
Absolutely. I have we have, because Lisa's my co-host on the show. We have over 1,000 plus videos.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's truly awesome. It really is.
Terrific.
And many more to come.
Oh, yeah, we have a lot more to come, right? Our adventures on our show, Chris the Hobby Guy, on YouTube. It's been a lot of fun, and
Oh, it's a joy.
we enjoy it. You know,
We enjoy it. That's the whole thing. I think when you're passionate about something and you enjoy it, it just shows through. And people say, "What's your secret?" There is no secret. It's just in the heart. You know, it's happiness, joy, and we like to give that joy to others. So.
absolutely. And we've been on television commercials.
Oh yeah.
We're all over the internet. Restaurants call us to do reviews,
Which is fun too.
which is
yeah.
a lot of fun because giving back is important. You know, there were even some hotels
Yeah.
that wanted us to spend a weekend and film around, and you could see everything on the show,
Yeah.
which is really cool on the YouTube channel.
So it's been a great ride. Life is good, Jamie.
Life
Life
is
awesome.
really good, especially with all the stuff that's going on right now.
Oh yeah.
Yes, Jamie.
Do you feel that maybe there could be a downside to using YouTube? And if so,
Yes.
what do you feel is the biggest problem with it?
I definitely feel that there's another side also. It depends upon the content that the producer puts out. And that could be anywhere. It could be on television. It could be here also. It's your content. You have to remember you're in the spotlight. You're in the public's eye. And you have these followers, people that, you know, they follow you and they want to know what's going on. And we always make sure that we do good things. There are some people that, hey, they'll use the YouTube maybe to hurt people, you know. And
Well, to reflect like what they, it causes division.
Yeah,
things
that you don't
their
want.
own
That's
views. See,
horrible.
we don't get into politics. We don't get
No.
into any kind of thing that is one-sided.
That's right.
We just look at life as a whole and a whole beautiful thing that God has given us, which I feel firmly about. Life is a gift, and do you want to wake up and just complain or be one-sided on things or argumentative, or do you want to just go out there and live it and enjoy it and just open it up like a beautiful present every day? And that's what we do.
like
and
that.
not to say
like
there
that,
are
Lisa.
there are hard times. I mean, but we try to see the best in it, and we try to see what we could do to maybe bring some kind of hope to that. And that's just who we are, but as people, and it just means a lot,
Yeah, and we can all change the world
for a
in
better
a
place.
positive way to make it a better place. We must unite as one family, and that's what we try to do. No matter who you are, what color you are, we want to bring everyone together. We want that one unity. Like I said, our family.
It's a family. And you know what? There's enough things in the world that are going on that are sad, and we pray for those situations. But, to bring about arguments about it and division about it, it only, it's like adding fuel to the fire. So we don't do that. We'd rather be like the fire extinguishers.
I like
with
that.
love,
I
and,
love
and
that,
kindness,
Lisa.
and
That's really awesome.
and support. You see
right.
something out there, don't just stand back and fold your hands and complain about it. Get out there, see what you could do to help them. Maybe bring some light to it, or some kind of help. So that's how we are.
Yeah, give people a chance,
Right.
and love each other and spread peace and unity. And that's what we believe in. You have to just, like we said before, change the world because it needs a change.
It needs a change for the better.
And look at how the world's been through epidemics, floods, hurricanes, hunger,
Wars.
wars,
Yeah.
terrible wars.
Yeah.
And
There's a war going on right now between Russia and the Ukraine,
Yeah.
which I don't think is ever going to stop either.
Because they
it's
just
terrible.
It's
just
like
terrible.
so it's been so many years that they've been going through this, and there's so much bitterness and resentment.
Just
And I think,
terrible.
see, that's what it is. That when the roots of bitterness are there, and they just are in, they can't really. They have to peel all that off, and look at how much greater life could be if people just come together. Like that would be,
Thank you.
Peace. I always, from when I was a kid, I felt that way.
That's right.
Why can't people just get along? My goodness, it doesn't take that much,
It doesn't cost anything to be nice.
I always tell him that.
Lisa says that all the time.
And if you're nice, something nice will happen to you.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Out of the blue.
Thank you. That's
Kindness is contagious.
Hey, listen, God's watching us all too.
And that,
Yeah.
I was just going to say, Chris, we believe in God. I mean, we're Christians, and we just feel that there is a higher power and there is an afterlife in heaven. I mean, that's our belief. But, do the right thing. Just, people need to, think of those things and, make sure your perspective is in a kind of godly point of view, too, where, you were created in His image and you want to, do the right thing.
Here's something that will probably put you on the spot. What would you say is the best reaction to any of your videos?
Oh, that's great.
Well, the best reaction, and I've gotten it a lot of times, and it's where men would actually message me and say, Chris, I see the way you treat Lisa. I love the way you two both get along. I'm going to try harder on my marriage.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
You know how many
we've actually
marriages?
saved marriages.
Wow.
And they message us on the Instagram or my YouTube, and they try to be the way I am towards Lisa. And it's been amazing. And when I actually hear those things and I see those comments and thanking me, and we've saved marriages.
Now, marriages have definitely
It's awesome.
been transformed
Wow.
where they were on the brink of, breakup, and basically, they were like, wow, we watched your videos and we feel like, like a husband is different now towards his wife for the better, and they're
right.
getting along and they're doing more things together. And so we kind of have like a good positive influence on family life, marriages.
We're definitely influencers.
So the reactions of that, seeing that, and that gives us we're blessed by that. We are so blessed because...
And that's the power celebrities have.
Right.
They actually have, like I said, that following. People look up to them. So be careful,
Right.
You have to always spread love and peace.
And peace
and joy.
And unity and good.
unity.
And if you have a family and you have a spouse or whatever, a significant other, make sure you're treating them right and respectful.
That's right.
And I think people will look up to that, and they'll, when they're already looking up to you and then they see that, it's like, wow, they have something good to follow. So
right.
it's great.
Now, for the $64,000 question. You two have gotten along so well.
Yes.
Ever since, first of all, since the day I met you two, and even before that. We know that married couples, they're always going to have issues. It wouldn't be the perfect marriage if they didn't. Has there ever been a time when you two had like a major disagreement or argument with each other? And if so, what was the precipitator of it?
Oh, well, usually I have to say, in all honesty, Chris is a wonderful husband.
Oh,
he usually is not
and
argumentative.
You're an amazing wife.
And not to say when the kids were little, that's when the little, because you have, you're worried about them, you're worried about their safety. So I was always the very overprotective mother. And I think that was always our biggest dilemma, because he would be like, no, they're okay. You don't have to be so. So we would get into our little, and I would say, no, they're my babies. And I still do that with him. And right, they're big. They're in their 20s, our kids, and they're wonderful kids.
But that's good to be overprotective.
Right, it's good.
Because you did a great job raising the kids.
But he would, till this day, like if we take a little, I'll always worry. I'll call them. Did you eat? And he's like, wait a minute, they can get for themselves. They're big now. So that's the only thing that we. And I'm like, hey, I want to cook for them.
That an argument. We rarely.
Not that we argue about it, but that's
really
our only
argue.
little. Yeah, we don't.
No, because we get along. We're we're so compatible.
Yeah.
That we like the same things. It's so amazing. Same music.
Yeah.
The same food. It's just
It is
so
a match made
amazing,
in
you know?
heaven. I always thank God every day because I
So
say
do I.
it's like God picked him for me and me for him, and we're just like extremely. I mean, they say opposites attract, but in our situation, I feel that him and I, although he has his own little things that he loves and that I love, but we just get along. So we're like best friends, and it's great.
See, that's the key, and
Yeah.
Lisa, you hit it perfectly. You have to be best friends in a relationship,
Absolutely.
and you have to put the other person forward in front of you. You can't be the person that wants all the attention or orders someone around. That's not how it works.
Right.
A good relationship is when you honor someone
Right.
that you're with, and I honor you, and I love you,
Oh, I
and
love you too.
I'm proud
Aw.
of you in every way.
See, Jamie,
I thank God every day for you,
Aw,
that He
and
sent you to me.
Thank you, and I feel the same way about you. It's it's everything Chris said. Always he's always put me, always respected me as a lady, and loved me and still loves me after all these years.
Oh,
and
every day. Love
and
you
I
more
love him
and more
It's
and more.
great. How could you not love Chris, the hobby guy? Come on now. He's like waking up to him every day. He wakes up smiling. I mean, come on now. Happy.
You know
guy.
why? Because God's smiling down on the both of you.
Oh,
Thank you.
Jamie.
Thank you. Amen to that.
I think if we had multiplied the population of our country times the two of you, this country would be in a better place.
Aw.
Big
Thank you,
time.
Jamie.
But unfortunately, it's not so. We're just going to have to deal with it as is. Now, since you came from Brooklyn, one thing that I know about Brooklyn is that it has a very, very good past when it comes to sports. And there's no other team that you could probably think of when it comes to Brooklyn, and that's the Dodgers.
Oh yeah, the Brooklyn Dodgers. Yeah.
Did you grow up in the era where the Dodgers still called Brooklyn home, or did you grow up after they moved to Los Angeles?
After.
Mm-hmm.
After. But I remember my father talking about it, and my grandfather, and they're like, oh, Brooklyn Dodgers, we want them here. And that was a big thing. You know?
Mm-hmm.
People were really angry at the time, from what I know, from what my parents told me. So, but I'm not that old.
No, of course not.
But then the Mets, it's like all the Dodger fans became
Yeah,
diehard Met
that's right.
fans, right?
Yeah.
Growing up in Brooklyn.
Giant
the
fans too.
And
big
Giants,
time.
that's right.
Big
That's
time.
right.
That was probably the only thing that Dodger fans and Giant fans could agree to,
Right.
and that's having a team like the Mets
Yes.
take over for the both.
That's right.
Yeah. Very true. Very good
Yep.
point.
And my father loved the Mets.
Yeah.
Mhm.
His father
Love
was
the
a
Mets.
diehard Met fan. And
Yeah,
back
they're
then.
doing okay so
They
far.
are. You know what? They're having a very good
Don't
start.
let the record fool you. Something tells me that this franchise is going to be going in the right direction.
Love
Not
to
just-
hear that.
Not just for this season, but because of what lies ahead for them in the future. And the man that's leading the way just so happens to be their new owner, Steve Cohen. And he has really been a big hit with the fans, too.
Oh, yeah.
Do either of you have a favorite sports memory that you still take with you to this day?
Oh, I know Lisa does.
Oh, well, I mean, when I was a kid, look, I love all sports. I love Mets, I love the Yankees. Anything New York, I've always loved. And, but when I was a kid, I believe it or not, I loved wrestling. I mean, even though it's
Now we're talking.
I loved back in the day when it was the WWF, you know. And I mean, although I was, I'm a girl and I always, I'm a girly girl, but I always loved wrestling. I don't know, there's something about it that fascinated me when I was like 10, 11 years old, 12 years old. So I remember all the greats back then, Andre the Giant and Bob Backlund, Ivan Putski, Jimmy Snuka, remember?
The now late Jimmy Snuka.
The late Jimmy,
Yes,
God rest his
yes,
soul. And
sad.
superstar Billy Graham just passed away, too, which
Yeah.
was another big one. And the tag teams, I remember, Jules and Jay Strongbow. They were great.
How about Andre the
Yeah,
Giant?
I said
Lisa?
Andre the Giant.
Yeah.
He was my favorite.
So I used to, my poor mother, my goodness, I would drag her to all these wrestling matches, and you know, I would find the tickets, and we would go. And here I was, this little blonde-hair, blue-eyed girl, you know, and I'm at the wrestling, you know, matches, and my mother would say, "But what do you get out of that?" And I loved it. I loved the competition of it. I loved rooting for the good guy, and you know, like I said, Bob Backlund was one of my favorites because he was kind of on the wholesome side, and
yeah, he was great. He really
it
was.
was awesome.
And then you had The Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, a guy who
Come
probably
on.
one of the guys that definitely changed the sport of wrestling forever.
Yes.
Because for one, he's a terrific talker.
Yeah. Yeah.
And for another, he's such a well-toned athlete. I mean, you may not know this, but before he became a wrestler, he was a football player.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Went to the University of Miami, and I think he might have had a cup of coffee up in Canada. But he probably did the best thing, changing careers from football to wrestling, because he became a sensation.
That's right. Tremendous sensation.
Yep. To this day, he probably could still compete too, because he's in tremendous shape.
Yeah.
Did you have a favorite wrestler? Either one of you?
Yeah, I loved Bob Backlund. There was and Ivan Putski, the Polish Hammer. I loved them both. They were great. They had great maneuvers, and it was just so much fun. You know, it was very entertaining, and but I was fascinated with it. And all the boys, I remember, they loved me, you know, for that, because, you know, here I was, like I said, a girly girl, and it was, you know, they would say, "You really like wrestling?" And I did, and I knew so much about it, and they would, you know, we would talk about it, and, you know, I loved it. They would come over and watch the matches with me, and it was great fun, you know, great fun. So that was my sports. I mean,
And Lisa had all the wrestling
yes,
magazines.
the magazines.
Wow.
She had tons of them.
Would you ever think? Would you ever
that
think?
was so cool. Yeah, it's awesome, you know.
No,
So you
wasn't
collected Pro Wrestling Illustrated and
yes.
The Wrestler and all those
Yep,
other
She
magazines?
had
all of
them
them.
all.
All of them.
all the
Wow.
editions, and she kept them in the garage.
I
mean,
kept
it's
them in the garage.
tr-
My garage was
amazing
actually
amount.
filled with posters of all the greats up there.
Yes,
and,
the posters in the garage.
Bruno
remember that, yeah.
Sammartino, and I could see it now. You know, it was just awesome.
Yeah.
Now, one of my favorites, and I said Andre the Giant was a favorite, but Hulk Hogan.
Oh, Hulk
Yeah.
Hogan. of
Hulk-
course.
Another guy that
Hogan.
changed
That's a
the
given.
game.
Yeah, he was amazing.
I would wait and actually couldn't wait to see the matches. You know,
Yeah.
the
Hulk
matches
Hogan
were
was
out of
great.
this world.
He had a lot of
And
energy.
he had so many followers. What a celebrity he was.
You know, they were great.
Yep. And
Amazing.
when he body slammed, do you remember?
Mm-hmm.
The man himself. He body slammed Andre the Giant.
Yeah, that was a big match, though.
I forget how. Was he 500 pounds? 400?
He was huge.
About 500.
Yeah, amazing.
I'm
7
I'm
feet
assuming
tall.
that you're referring to the WrestleMania match.
Yes,
WrestleMania,
yes,
my
yes.
favorite.
You know, it's interesting. WrestleMania 3, well, first off, for them to have it at the old Silver Dome in Michigan, they really outdid themselves.
Oh, yeah.
As great as that match was, everyone talked about the other match that preceded Hogan's match, and that's Randy Savage against Ricky Steamboat.
Oh, I
Love
remember
that
one.
one.
That was a great
Two
one.
of
Yes,
the best
yes.
workers that you
Yeah.
will see in the business.
That was awesome.
It was just amazing.
That is amazing. Yes, I remember that. Wow.
I just loved it all. The excitement.
The energy in the air, you
And
know.
I remember actually watching with my father. We're on the couch, we're watching these matches, and my dad yelling, "Yeah, yeah, yeah!" It was so much fun, you know.
It was great.
Brings back childhood memories.
And then, of course, you try to do the maneuvers yourself.
Yeah.
Of course we all did.
This is the part where you say, don't try this at home.
I'm the youngest of 4 girls, so my 3 older sisters. I'm the baby, so I would get away with everything. They would, she's so cute, let her do it. And I would grab my older sister and I would put her in like the figure 4 leg lock. And I was good at it because I would watch the way they did it, and oh my goodness, they would say, "Get out of here!" At least they're in her wrestling maneuvers, but it was so much fun.
And everyone jumping on the bed.
Yeah.
That was like boom, boom, and.
Yeah, I would actually create my mother's living room.
Yeah, put a mattress in the living room.
Put a mattress on the bottom, and I would have the 4 things, the posts, and oh my goodness, it was bringing me back.
Fun times.
Great memories.
Do you still watch wrestling today?
From time to time. I'm not as addicted as I was when I was a kid, but I do glance at it every now and again. I like to check it out.
I like to see who's new.
Yeah.
Who's a new person.
It's changed a lot, from
who the latest star is going to be that's going to be going into WWE. They've practically been poaching wrestlers for years.
Yeah, that's
but
right.
then you have the new promotion, which is All Elite Wrestling, which is on TNT and TBS. This time, people have to worry about them poaching WWE because all I see is Dean Ambrose or John Moxley now is his in-ring name. And they've also been poaching guys from the NWA, which is mounted a comeback after so many years of being inactive. What is your favorite wrestling memory? I have one of my own, but do you have a favorite moment in the sport?
Well, it was definitely, like I said before, when Hulk Hogan body slammed Andre the Giant. That has to be my favorite.
That was epic. Yeah.
How about you, Lisa? You have a favorite?
Oh my goodness!
You loved everything.
I love everything about wrestling, but I just remember watching those shows and like I said, being fascinated by it and going. Back then they would have them in the school hall gymnasiums. You would have to find tickets, and we would go and just watching them live. I mean, seeing it on TV is one thing, but when you're actually there and you see them in front of you, and those wrestlers were huge, and it was fascinating.
My dad took me to Madison Square Garden for matches.
That's a good memory,
And we always would have either front or second row, and we'd always be there, and he'd make sure. And he'd make sure that I was able to say hello to the wrestlers as they passed.
The greet and meet.
As they passed down the hall. And it was just awesome.
Fun. There were nice
memories.
meet and greets after. I do remember too, with the meeting them and seeing them with their big belt that they won and getting their autographs. So it was great, a great thing to watch.
And I loved when they would bring up the belt, the championship belts. I loved when the next guy would win and he'd hold it up.
Yeah, with such pride.
And when you're a kid, you're like, wow, that's the prize of prizes. And
I know those belts were so, they're etched in your mind just to see them. So beautiful.
Well, I had the action figures too.
Yeah,
I loved
and
Chris the Hobby Guy.
Chris the Hobby Guy still has those action figures.
I still have a lot of them. Yes.
One day you have to do a YouTube video on your
we should do that.
You would not believe the amount of stuff he has from when he has an attic filled.
That's why they call me Chris the Hobby Guy.
Between baseball cards and action figures, wrestling figures, things that of nostalgia from back then, and he has them in pristine condition.
This is so interesting. I think you and my fiance might have something in common because she's a trader of cards as well. Only in her case, are you familiar with Garbage Pail Kids?
Yes.
She collects.
That's from the 80s.
Right? Or the 90s.
She collects and buys Garbage Pail Kids.
Oh, wow.
And she's also made a little bit of money by selling them, too.
That's right. They've gone up in value. I'm up on, as Chris the Hobby Guy, I'm up on all the, the values of the cards and all the things. I always look. And the Garbage Pail Kids have gone up like 300 or 400% in value. Yeah, it's great stuff. Great stuff.
It's like the Beanie Babies. Does she like? I loved the Beanie Babies.
Yeah.
Those were cool too.
They were so big that they would actually give them out for free at Yankee Stadium.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's right.
yeah.
That's right.
It's incredible.
And it was on one particular Beanie Baby day. This was 1998, where David Wells, when he pitched for the Yankees then, threw his perfect game.
Oh, that's right. That's
Mm-hmm.
right.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Awesome. So
that's
much fun,
that's going to
eh?
be a very expensive Beanie Baby.
Yeah.
I know that.
We still have our son used to love Teddy Ruxpin.
Oh, I remember that
and you know what?
one.
I was just floating through the internet one, and they were saying the Teddy Ruxpins are like so high in value.
Yeah, they're a
I
few
was like, I have to go
$100
dig
now.
him out of the attic.
Now, if you see, the thing is with collecting, if you have the original box,
Right, that's the
it's
thing.
doubles in value no matter what you have,
That's right.
which is really, really amazing. But how many of us really, when we were kids, just looked at the toy in the box? No.
Yeah.
We're take it out and enjoy it,
Very true.
And baseball cards.
Oh,
We would
he
do
has-
something, today that young kids would go crazy. We would take the baseball cards with a clothespin and put them in the spokes of your bicycle, and there go like a motorcycle. And we've as a kid destroyed who knows how many baseball cards doing that. Even flipping them, flipping, and hit the ground. But if you're going to collect things like that, especially baseball cards, they have to be in pristine condition to be collector items.
On that topic, let Chris tell you what he has. Go ahead, Chris. He has some.
Oh, I have a tremendous amount of
Tell 'em.
baseball cards.
But he has them in like sealed and right.
Yeah, I
Right?
have sets that are unopened. I have my favorite is my Nolan Ryan rookie card.
There we go.
It's
You have to see
it's
it,
amazing. I have it in a holder and have it on display.
That was when he was with the Mets.
Yes, that's right.
And then he became involved in probably one of the worst trades ever made.
Yeah.
Nolan Ryan for Jim Fregosi.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
And while Ryan's
worst
career
trade.
extended another 21 years, Jim Fregosi was out of the Mets organization after a year and a half.
That's right. I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
That
occurred
amazing.
1 year after when I was born.
Yeah, that's
Wow, yeah.
totally amazing.
Speaking of 1973, I was only a baby then, but I heard all about the Miracle Mets Part 2. I call them Miracle Mets Part 2 because they were actually in last place by the time September hit around. But then all of a sudden they started going on this ridiculous winning streak. I think they were 73.
73.
73 was probably their most intriguing team because they were in last place that year.
Oh, I remember that.
The entire Eastern Division was horrendous.
I was a little kid.
Then the month of September came around. The Mets wound up coming from behind and winning 19 out of 27, and then they beat the Reds for the pennant. But then came Oakland, which at that time had Reggie Jackson.
Oh yeah.
Oakland won that series in 7 games, but that was probably one of the more favorite teams for Mets fans because they showed that they could go from the bottom to the top and be there permanently. Now, you mentioned 69. I unfortunately was not born yet, but I saw quite a few videos in regards to the 69 team. It was a young team that had the now late Tom Seaver.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
And Jerry Kuzman and Cleon Jones and Buddy Harrelson when he was the shortstop for them. And at that time, the Mets were trailing the Chicago Cubs in the standings.
Right.
And then came, I think, July or August or so, there was the famous Black Cat game when suddenly out of nowhere, a black cat raced into the field.
Wow.
And then went in front of the Cubs dugout
That's right.
And as we all know about black cats, they probably are the worst,
Omen.
probably the worst omen that any team could face. And what
That's
happened
true.
in '69? The Mets won 38 of their last 49 games, and the Cubs just did a complete self-destruction. And then after that, there was sweeping Atlanta, and then after that was beating the Orioles in 5 games, and that was their first title.
Jamie, I have to say, you're like the Britannica. You have
Of
all this
sports.
information.
That's amazing,
That's
yeah.
why I love watching your show.
Thank you.
I really do.
Thank you so much.
I learned so much about sports from you, and it's awesome. I have to say it.
The history of sports,
You
too,
have a
is
great
so,
show. You really do.
Thank you so much. And of course, we'd be remiss if we did not mention the Yankees.
Oh, the best.
They're doing okay, let's put it that way. But they're missing a whole bunch of guys because of injuries. So it's early. I mean, June is right around the corner.
Yeah.
So they have another 4 months to try and right things. So let's just see what happens. And of course, here on Staten Island, we've got the Ferry Hawks.
The Ferry Hawks.
Yay,
Big shout
the
out.
Ferry Hawks. We
love them.
love you, Ferry
Staten
Hawks.
Island's own. We love it.
That's right.
Great group of people over there, yeah.
And
There was a time when some people were a little wishy-washy about the nickname. Someone mentioned the Pizza Rats.
Oh, no, I did not
Yes,
like
I
that.
remember
After that very infamous YouTube video of a rat
it's
taking
terrible.
down a piece of pizza down the stairs.
Terrible.
Yeah, and then you think about that as negativity
That's
towards
what-
Staten
that's
Island.
right.
You know, for someone to have a name like that.
Can't
you
let
know?
people get away with that.
No.
Because, you know, and I'm glad they didn't. Because,
Yeah, it's a
you know,
good thing.
Right.
It's a good thing that they named the team the Ferry Hawks.
I
because
love that name.
That is one thing that we're famous of, and
right.
that's the fact that we have the free ferry boat system.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right. And it's an awesome ferry boat system. I mean, I love it. It's great.
Have you been to any games yet?
Not yet. Not this year yet. But we definitely will catch one or two or three.
We
First
love
time
the
I went
Ferry
to
Hawks.
first time I went to a Ferry Hawks game, it was a work day for me because one of my bosses was kind enough to invite me over to do some filming. So we got onto the field. We did a couple of interviews with the manager, a couple of players here and there as well. Then came the game itself, and I probably had as good a time at that ballpark as I have for any Yankee or Met game.
It's a beautiful ballpark. Beautiful
Yes,
ballpark. I mean, everywhere you
Yes.
look, it's just gorgeous.
And
And I think that the fact that they're now playing 120 games this season, hopefully that'll bring more fans to the ballpark.
Right. Oh, definitely.
well,
Definitely.
as you all know, Pete Davidson is one of the owners of the Ferry Hawks. And our friend Eric is another owner.
Eric, yeah.
And we had gotten a private tour when they were,
Yeah, we were called in to.
yeah, that's right. And they're just
Last year
wonderful
when they were-
people.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Last
when they
year.
were developing and renovating the amazing park.
The beauty of that park is that no matter where you look, it's just the views are incredible.
Love it.
I mean, if you haven't gone out there, Staten Island
Yeah.
and Brooklyn and
Adams
wherever
World.
else, you know, take a ride because it's amazing. Go see a game. Great venue, great place, and just amazing people over there.
You see the skyline.
Yeah.
You know, you're there and you look up, especially a night game, which is amazing. There's that skyline. The food's really good.
Yeah.
They upgraded the food, and which is, you know, it's part of baseball. You know, you want to sit there, you want to eat. You don't want to eat just a hot dog. But they have all different types of food
Yeah, I
to
know.
offer this time. It's
a great place.
Which is really great.
Yeah, we
great
were honored
upgrade.
to go there
We
and
love you, Ferry Hawks.
view the facilities and those beautiful suites that they have up there. And really incredible.
Yeah, that's right.
I wonder though, if they still have the luxury boxes that
Yes.
the Staten Island Yankees used to have.
Yes, they do.
Because that was a really
They
great
do.
thing for all the fans. They would get free food. They would get a TV
Oh, wow.
in case they wanted to watch something else while they were watching the game.
Nice.
It was great,
Yeah,
great
well,
stuff.
Still
Yeah,
do, they've actually
they
made
took
it
us
even
in when they were
bigger.
renovating.
Right.
They took us into these amazing luxury.
They actually
luxury
renovated
boxes.
them and made them even more
Mm-hmm.
enhanced.
Stunning.
Really beautiful.
And there's places where you can actually have parties.
Yeah.
There's a place that in the stadium where you can put a DJ and you can have anything you want at Sweet 16, a party. Just amazing, you know.
It is. And they sponsor a lot too throughout Staten Island, which is a really cool thing. Different businesses, and so it comes together as a whole of a community, which is wonderful. And we're happy to have them. Go Ferry Hawks!
Yeah, go Ferry Hawks! We love you. That's right.
What is your personal favorite memory of anything that happened in sports?
My favorite memory.
Tell them about your dad. What happened? That's an incredible story.
Well, yeah. I'm
If you
going to talk
want.
about my father for a moment. Now, my father, we're talking, years and years ago. He was on the Yankee farm team. And he was an amazing hitter. I mean, he
used to get the whole neighborhood, right? Together.
Oh, yeah. It was out of this world. I mean, he really could hit a ball. Great home run hitter. So I remember him telling me the story where the scout was now going to pick who's going to now go to the majors. Now, here's my father. He was the number one pick. And they were there to look at him and any other prospects. So my father, home run, running. He slid into home plate, popped his knee.
Oh, wow.
And he continued to play on that knee, which he tore it, really bad. He didn't want to show. She didn't want to show the organization that he wasn't good enough, But he was hurt, and that ended his career.
Wow.
Yeah, imagine. So that's
but
it.
he would have been.
He probably would have been
one of the greatest. He would have definitely been in the majors. I watched him play as a child, and he was a legend in the neighborhood.
Brooklyn, he really was.
Legend.
They would call all the kids today are grown men, and they still remember how his father was just an amazing ball player. He would get all the kids to, back then in Brooklyn, I guess Staten Island too, they would have the games in the street. You get your bases out. So his dad was always with the mitt, the baseball glove and the, all the things to get the kids ready, right? He would have them. And
he was great.
They never forgot that.
And he organized games, and he managed, and the neighborhood kids, and he was well respected. He was a great person, and God bless you, Dad. Thank you for all you've done. You gave back to the community.
Well, and they never forgot that. Kids today never ever forget. They're men, but they never forget. Those men. I don't know. I mean, if men don't do it today, they really should. Get the kids out there and have them play those little games in the street. So nice.
Sports. That's a great outlet for young people.
Healthy outlet.
It's healthy. Developing your body.
Sportsmanship.
Right, Lisa. I like that because there's life lessons you could learn, like sportsmanship, getting along with each other. If you lose a game, hey, don't get mad at the person.
Right. You get up and you try better next time.
Good sportsmanship at the other team.
Exactly.
Yeah, shake their hand and walk away, and come back another day to play them, and that's a life lesson.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes you see kids playing or a team playing, and all of a sudden they fight and there's a breakout fight. That's why, when they do that in hockey, in other games, they have to remember they're in the public eye, and they have all that power as celebrity. So they shouldn't be fighting. They shouldn't be doing all that.
Well, back then, sportsmanship. You have to have sportsmanship.
Even today, sportsmanship's important.
Always.
But that's right. How do you feel about that, Jamie?
Oh, well, I'm a little curious. What was your dad's name?
Larry.
Larry.
Yes.
But
Larry. It was years and years. There's no record. It was back in
He was a legend in Brooklyn, for
50s,
those who knew him.
There's no, unfortunately.
A great time to be a baseball fan was the 50s because we had 3 teams the Yankees, of course, the Dodgers, and the Giants.
Yes.
That's right.
And that was probably at a time when the rivalries were pretty intense.
Tremendous.
Yeah. Dodgers and Giants never liked each other.
Yeah.
They sure as hell hated the Yankees
Yeah.
because they won every single World Series against them. But there's also the aftermath when both the Dodgers and the Giants wound up leaving to go to California.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Every little kid's innocence was damaged forever
That's
Yeah.
because
right.
of the move.
That's
There
right.
you go.
Thank God that the Mets became an expansion team in '62, because if not, we would only have the Yankees, and there would be nothing to try and trash talk them about.
Right. And we love the Subway Series, right? That is so exciting.
Yeah, I love
the
those.
Two
'50s when the
New York
Yankees played the
teams
Dodgers. That was the original Subway Series.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
right.
that was like that
That's
was-
right.
Same thing
That's
with the
so
Yankees
true.
and the Giants. So, at least they changed interleague play a little bit. Now the Yankees can play every team in the National League as opposed to maybe 2 or 3 or 4.
Yes.
They play all 15
Big
teams in the
difference
National
now.
League.
Yeah. And it's exciting. You know, It's so exciting to watch a game and to root for your favorite player. And you just, you're waiting. And I used to remember, back when I was a kid, say Darryl Strawberry got up. And he was amazing.
It was music
And-
to my ears.
Yes.
I actually met Darryl not too long ago.
Oh, wow.
That's
How's he
awesome.
doing?
Oh, he's doing well.
Good.
I think he's finally come to grips with his own life and the fact that he made many mistakes away from the game.
Yeah, he did.
I met him at an autograph signing in Parsippany, New Jersey,
Oh, wow.
and it's called the Chiller Theater Expo.
Oh, I would love
You know,
to.
like
I've
the
heard
old
of that,
Chiller
yeah.
movie hour on Channel
Right.
11.
Oh,
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
love next time you go. We'll go with you. That sounds
Okay, that'd be great.
It's a lot of
So
fun.
I met Darryl Strawberry, and this is going back a few years.
Wow.
Kenny from the Cosby Show.
Oh, wow.
Oh, cool! Look at that.
And there was also one of the girls from 90210.
Oh, wow.
I met Fred the Hammer Williamson, who you might know from all of the blaxploitation movies of the 70s.
Right.
He
Fred the
played,
Hammer.
I think, 7 or 8 years of football in the old American Football League. And they called him the Hammer for a reason. Because when he made a tackle, he would devastate you.
He'd hammer you.
He would definitely hammer them. And it was a really interesting interview, too. Unfortunately, he's not really impressed with the way the game is going right now, because they pretty much taken away the really hard-hitting highlights that the fans want to see. Well, and I see we're coming up on a minute.
Oh, wow. That went fast.
Yeah.
Wow,
Time
we
flies
had-
when you're having fun.
There you go.
Yes, we did. Always with you.
Do you have a last word for all of the fans tonight?
I just want to say we love everyone and keep posted because we have a lot of great things coming up. And God bless. And we're kicking off the summer. There's Memorial Day
right.
weekend. So we remember those who fought for us and
Yes.
we thank them. And
Thank you
we honor
for
them
your
this
service.
weekend. So everyone be safe. We're going to have a great summer and stay tuned.
And don't forget to subscribe on YouTube to Chris the Hobby Guy and watch our show. Also,
Every Friday night.
every Friday night.
8 o'clock. They changed us. We were 8:30, but now we're 8 o'clock every Friday night.
Thank you so much, guys.
Oh,
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're a great friend.
Thank you.
We love you and thank you. We love your show.
Thank you
And
so
it was an
much.
honor being here.
Keep doing what you're doing, Jamie.
Thank you. I'll try to. For everyone here, for Chris and Lisa, and also for Michael Stanton on the other side of the glass, I'm Jamie. We hope to see you next Monday night. Happy Memorial Day. Excuse me. Happy Memorial Day. Good night, everyone.
Bye,
God
everyone.
bless.
We love
God
you, Staten
bless.
Island.
All right.